moment just to make sure that my audio is correct. I'm just making a few adjustments. Okay, there we go. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Motivation. I pray that you all are doing well. I pray that you're having a blessed week. Today, I just wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about success leaves clues. And what I mean by this is that we all want to be successful in whatever our endeavors are, whether it's our business, whether it's we're going to college, we're going to school, whether it's our workplace. No matter what it is, we all strive to have success. And what I want to let you know about is that, like the title says, success leaves clues. And so, what I'm getting at is that if no matter what industry, no matter what field that you are in, that you're trying to have success, that you're trying to excel in, there are people that have gone before you. And these people that have gone before you in this industry or even in life that have had success in business or athletics or whatever the field may be, they have had success. And so what I want to encourage you is this, is that whatever field or industry that you're in, look at who are the giants in those particular fields, who are the giants in those industries, because they probably have, I would say 9 out of 10 times, they have content out there. They have published books, they have written things, they have done videos that talk about their success, or others have written about them. And so by following some of the habits that they have, it can help you in what you're trying to do. So say, for example, if you are into the stock market or something like that, then you would follow like Warren Buffett because he has been very successful in that. Say, for example, you want to be an athlete. If you want to be a swimmer, then you would follow the greatest swimmer ever, and that's Michael Phelps, just because of his success. And you would learn about them so that you can figure out or you can digest what it is that they did for success. If you want to be the best basketball player you can be, who do you follow? Of course, you follow Michael Jordan, and you see what is it that they did that made them successful. And you will see like their work ethic. You'll see that they had routines. You will see that they made to-do lists. You will see different things that are very common in all of them. And those are things that you can adapt for yourself. You can take those techniques, you can take those styles, you can take whatever it is that they are doing, and you can apply that to your life. Because oftentimes we try to do things on our own, and doing things on our own can sometimes lead to dead end. A friend of mine just had a podcast about being a solopreneur, where you're out here by yourself and you don't necessarily have support. And I know that I had a friend of mine. He also always used to say this, that his mentor was who did he say? Bishop Tutu. He used to say, "Hey, my mentor is Bishop Tutu," and I'm like, "Man, dude, you don't know him." But what he was in essence saying is that he follows him, that he studies him, that he learns from him. So for me, I know that for me, some of my mentors that now I say are my mentors are John Maxwell and Tony Robbins, and then also pastors, different pastors that I follow as well. But what I want to get to is that success leaves clues. So if you are trying to excel in anything in life, find people who are at the top of the game, who are at the top of that industry. And first and foremost, before I go any farther, let's just say this: as Christians, as believers, the number one person that we should be following, the number one person at the top of the game that is giving us exactly how we should live life is Jesus. If we look at Jesus, if we look at his ministry on earth, on how he did things, how he operated, that's the perfect example. So first and foremost, as believers, we should be following Christ. And a lot of times, in the Bible, we'll say, well, according to Paul, according to Mark, according to Luke, according to all these different people, it all goes back to how is Jesus conducting himself? Because Jesus was the only man to walk the earth that was perfect. So we follow perfection. And we look to Jesus to be the example for how we should live our Christian lives. Yes, other people in the Bible, they have their examples or stories are there for us. But number one, we should be focused on Jesus because it's all about Christ. Now, if we are in other industries, I pulled out a couple examples here. So if we're doing coaching, then Tony Robbins is at the top of the game, and John Maxwell. If we're looking at pastors, we look at pastors like T.D. Jakes. We look at Rick Warren, who recently retired. We look at Joel Osteen, people who are having success in that particular industry. These are the folks that you would look to see what is it that they're doing, what are their consistencies, what are their habits, and these are the folks that you want to learn by. If you're thinking about being on social media, you think about Gary Vee and the content that he's putting out and what he's giving to people and what he's sharing with people. Finances, we look at Warren Buffett if they're in the tech. We think of the things that Steve Jobs has done. For myself, for plays, we look at Tyler Perry. What is Tyler Perry doing? And that would be an individual that I look at and I follow and find out what is it that they're doing for their success. Good morning. So I want to encourage you to do the same as well. Look at the people that are in your industry and see what they're doing, because once again, success leaves clues. Now, let me tell you this, that no matter what you are doing or what industry you're in, people are going to say, hey, I got the latest and greatest, is this or that. Let me tell you this, that there is no latest and greatest. There are so many things that are reformatted, repackaged, and they all come from someone else up at a higher level. If you think about folks that go to classes, that go to courses, that go to training, they're all learning from someone at a higher level. And ultimately, they're taking their information and they're putting their own spin, their own twist on it. They're putting their colors on it, and then they're presenting it to you. But if you look back to things, if we think about leadership strategies, look at any leadership strategy that might be the latest and greatest. And I guarantee you this, if you trace it back, it leads back to the Bible. The Bible is the ultimate leadership book. So these things that are the latest and greatest, they always have, if you follow the chain back, they always will lead to someone at a higher level that has created these things. And these people are just regurgitating, they're twisting, they're putting their own name, they're putting their spin. So as far as that, what I'm going to say is make sure that you are following the people that are having success in your industry, because you can learn a lot from them. I know for me, I used to hate on some people like, hey, I don't necessarily like this person or this speaker. But then I started seeing their success and how they got to their success, because everybody has a story. Listen to their story. Their story may be identical or very similar to yours. And you're like, you know what? I can relate to that because I struggled in the military, or I struggled as a single parent, or I struggled because I was homeless. There's something there that will tell you that they went through some type of adversity, and that adversity may line up with yours. You may find something that's very similar. And so what I find from that is that's very encouraging, because of the fact that, you know what, I know that they could do it through God's strength. They could do it. And I know that I can do it as well. Absolutely. The greatest thought leaders of our time and times past got inspiration from the Bible. Amen. Exactly. Everything from everything traces back to the Bible, which is the ultimate leadership book. So once again, find someone who is in your industry, and it's great if you can connect to them in some fashion other than just watching their videos, studying their books and reading their books and things like that. But what I want you to also do is, notice I said their study. Don't just be a fan, like, oh my goodness, I love this person. Oh my goodness, I like what they do. No. If you are trying to compete, if you're trying to excel in that particular industry, study what they're doing. Find out behind the scenes of what they are doing. Don't just say, oh, I love their music, they're so great. Oh, they're a mogul, they're doing so much thing. You know what? Study what they're doing. What is it that they're investing in? How did they get to that point? Learn some of your history. Learn the history of people, because there are no such things as overnight successes. People have started out at the bottom, or they started out at a lower point than they are right now. We talked about this before. You didn't just see them they came out day one and they were just on fire. It doesn't happen like that. There's a stepping stones they had to build. I remember the story of Mike Todd, and Mike Todd, as best I remember the story, is that he was behind the scenes. He was like an audio engineer. He was in the media ministry at his church. And just, I want to say maybe 5 to 6 years later, that he became the pastor. But it was not all about him. Just one day he shows up to church and next thing he explodes on social media. That was not the case with him. And he had been putting out things. And then all of a sudden what happened is one video went viral. And then what it did, that one video, then everybody started looking at all of his other stuff. And that's how he came up to be so well known today. So these things don't happen overnight. You have to know the backstory of people. That way you can see what the struggles were. But in knowing what their struggles were and studying them, you can find out the things that they did wrong, because when they find out what they did wrong, you can avoid those mistakes. Of course, you want to know what they did right, but there are things I'm guaranteed that they did along their path that they did in an incorrect fashion. I know for myself in my military career, there are some things that I did absolutely well, but there are other things that I didn't do well, and they might have slowed down my progress or slowed down my growth. And even in life, there's some things you do well and there's some things you don't do well. And you want to learn the things that successful people did well and that they didn't do well. So what I want to encourage you to do once again is whatever industry you are in, look and see who are the giants, who are the people at the top of the field, so that you can study them. You can find out what they're doing, what they did, how they came up, see their process so that it can help you, because success leaves clues. It all goes back to that. Success leaves clues. And so you want to find out what these clues are so to help yourself be successful. Once again, thank you so much for watching us today. I pray that you're doing well. Don't forget to comment. I love your comments. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Take care. And God willing, we will see you back here again tomorrow. Take care and God bless.